Now for our featured story of the day. Headline reads, Bitcoin hit 200,000 by the end of 2025, regardless of who wins the election. This is according to the bank executive over at Standard Chartered Bank, a major bank. And the primary shareholder of Standard Chartered is, guess what? Guess whom? None other than BlackRock. So as you know, they're extremely bullish on the biddy. Let's break this baby down. Geoff Kendrick, not to be mistaken with Kendrick Lamar, global head of digital asset research of Standard Chartered, a cross-border bank, believes Bitcoin will have likely reached 200,000 per coin by the end of 2025, regardless of who wins the 2024 United States presidential election. Send it. According to the bank exec, 3 factors are poised to drive the price of the biddy to a new all-time high in 2025, including the likely removal of staff accounting bulletin 121, a rule effectively preventing banks from holding digital assets for clients, a marginal uptick in inflation, as well as the positive inflows into Bitcoin ETFs. Now, Kendrick expects SAB 121 to be repealed by both former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. Similarly, Standard Chartered exec says the leadership changes at the SEC, you know, Gary's about to be replaced, right? We're likely coming, specifically noting SEC chairman's Gary's negative impact on the crypto industry. You can say that again. And what Gensler's potential replacement could mean for the markets. But you know what? They're just going to put another suit in to replace Gary, to continue with Gary's agenda. That's just the reality of it, family. So don't get it twisted. Here's a 2024 election forecast, which I don't subscribe to. I don't believe any of these polls, but nonetheless, according to Polymarket, the odds for the 2024 U.S. presidential election are a 48% chance of Trump and a 51% chance of Harris. Here's why I don't believe any of that stuff. I just remember the 2016 election, like all the news, like 92% chance Trump can't win. And who was he running against? Was it Hillary back then? I forget. I'm not a big politic guy. I'm assuming it was Hillary. But nonetheless, guess who won? Trump. And they all said it's impossible for Trump to win, so don't even vote at this. So I don't believe anything from the mainstream, and I don't know Polymarket, but nonetheless, interesting. Quoting them here, you'll probably see more ETFs relatively quickly. Solana, I would say, would be most likely the third, according to Kendrick. Turning the focus to the macroeconomic picture, the executive stated, 10 years yield or above the 2-year yields for the first time around for a number of quarters now, and that's a marginally positive story within that as well. You have got inflation expectations up a bit, whereas real yields are down a bit. Now, Kendrick concluded by forecasting the price of the Bitcoin to reach approximately 125,000 by the end of 2024 if President Trump manages to secure the White House. Send it. So they're saying a Trump victory will send Bitcoin to my target this year, which I mentioned earlier when we did the technical analysis of the live charts. Remember, on the weekly chart, we have that cup and handle pattern at roughly 125,000. I predict Q4. So let's make it happen. Now, it also say they expect the price of Bitcoin to hit an all-time high of 200,000 by the end of 2025, regardless of who's in the White House. And I also agree with that. I think Bitcoin will hit multiple 6 figures this cycle peak, regardless if Kamala, whatever her name is, or Trump is in office. Now, 45 days to go until the presidential election. I believe it's November 5th. As the November election draws closer, crypto political action committees, POCs, are sending millions on campaigns in the hopes of securing the pro-crypto policies and candidates in office. The 2024 presidential race has elevated crypto to the national level for the first time in history. And according to a recent poll from the Gemini Exchange, approximately 73% of the U.S.-based respondents indicated that crypto policy would influence their vote in some form. That's almost 3/4 of the voters. And here's what I remember from Trump speaking on stage in Nashville. He promised to stockpile the Bitcoin for the United States of America if he is elected. I remember he said on day 1 he would fire the SEC chairman, Gary Gensler. He said he would free Ross Ulbricht. And they would use Bitcoin ultimately as a strategic reserve asset, not sell any. And then ironically, the Democrats, like a few days after he made that speech, sent something like 200,000 Bitcoin to an exchange, which goes to show you that, like, oh, just in case Trump wins, let's offload all the Bitcoin right now. Kind of crazy, right? But let me know your thoughts. And 40-2 odds on Trump. I've got my $50 down on it. Nice Oracle. The polls are kind of like speed limits. People observe them. Well, you know exactly. Welcome, Skosh. Sorry, I may be incorrect, but this statement is from last month. I think they had a meeting this past week. What statement is that? August 2024, the Bank of Japan raised the key interest rate rate for the second time of the year to about 0.25% for the range 0 to about 0.1%. And just the other day, while the market here has been pumping, what's his name? Jay Powell announced, I think it was a 0.5% interest rate cut for the first time in years. So we haven't seen any cuts in a long time. Never can pronounce Kamala's. Yeah, I don't really know her name. I don't pretend to know it. Maybe I should just say Miss Harris. I heard they are unchanged, and I don't even say that to like be disrespectful. I just don't know her name. I heard they are unchanged this past week, but they didn't verify it. Oh, right on. You're referring to the Bank of Japan, brother. They did have the meeting this week. So short coin, maybe asking the question. Google voice typing said pools, not polls. I hate Google's voice typing, and it won't be the last time you hear me say it. Word up, yo. Yeah, there's another name for her. Exactly. But here's what we're going to do, fam. I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube stream. I appreciate the YouTube fam. We got 200 people here. We're going to continue with the uncensored version of the pod, exclusive on X and Rumble. This is a try stream. We're streaming on 3 platforms as we do each and every day. We're live on YouTube. We're live on X. We're live on Rumble. If you're one of the people on YouTube, head on over to rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net so you can continue with the after party for the uncensored version of the pod. I promise you it'll be lit. It's my favorite part of the stream, hands down. So head on over to the Rumble. Again, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. Let's get ready to rumble.